I created Lislit's channel Beyblade, aka DULLAHAN. Yes, DULLAHAN is a Hasbro exclusive. However, Lislit has over time taken this bay and transformed it into his own channel bay of his own that he uses, and he's very proud of it. It's a very destructive bay, let's just say that. And the bay that we're making today is no other than DAYLAS DULLAHAN, which is aka the DB DULLAHAN version. Now, I don't have a 3D printer like Lislit, and because of that, I have to work with Hasbro layers. Now, I had recently got a spare Rockdivore layer and was going to turn this into DULLAHAN. And of course, with the permission of Lislit, I went straight into it. Now, right next to DULLAHAN, I was making my own custom Beyblade, Thunderstriker, my channel Beyblade. Now, just like in the Lego version where Thunderstriker has a rival, aka Quaza, IRL, Thunderstriker has its own rival, which is no other than DULLAHAN. And with now having the spare parts to create DULLAHAN, I went straight into forming this thing, starting with sanding down the chips. A very common procedure for creating any custom Beyblades. Next was something new I had to do, which was create the layer shape from Rockdivore. And once these new molded shapes were created by sanding them down, I wanted to compare both the original layer and now the new sanded and modified layer to see how much of a difference there was. From there, I pulled out my black spray paint and started priming these bays so they could have a base color and be easier to paint overall. And while letting these dry from the primer, I went ahead and started in on some other paintings, including a custom 2 armor that was a painted navy blue. Now, this was not originally part of the DULLAHAN Beyblade, but I thought it would look great with it. And once these bays were done drying from the primer, it was time to start painting these bays correctly to their correct color schemes. And without further ado, let me introduce Hasbro's DB DAYLAS DULLAHAN. Now, unlike most Beyblades where you would want a switch strike driver, so it would actually seem normal to most of the other Beyblades, Lislit uses a hypersphere driver to almost fuse the disc and layer together, creating more of a tighter locking mechanism. Another interesting thing about this Beyblade is that he keeps it at high mode. And once this Beyblade is in high mode, a special Ripfire disc is included to fill the gap between the driver and layer, increasing the weight another 20 grams, making this a very bottom heavy Beyblade. With this DULLAHAN evolution, it does come in at 51 grams, which is a little heavier than the normal most of any other DB Hasbro Beyblade, as most range in at 48 grams. However, when it has a special Ripfire disc, it comes in at a whopping 67 grams, which is 20 grams heavier than most DB Hasbro Beyblades. However, this disc can only be included when it's in high mode. But the unfortunate thing for this Beyblade is that it comes in at the exact same weight as any other Hasbro Beyblade for the layer, which is a whopping 12 grams. Now, what makes this Beyblade very impactful from his original 3D printed design is the recoil that this bay is able to give. Unfortunately, because of Hasbro and having to shrink down the size in classic Hasbro fashion, the recoil is not as high as the original. Unfortunately, that is true, but we still have the amazing details and paintings of DAYLAS DULLAHAN. Overall, it seems to be a great looking design, with Lislit approving of the design of it all. And if you guys want to see how I make my own custom Beyblade, Thunderstriker, go ahead and check out that video.